And we're back. Today you met the market makers, the ones who cause all the chaos in the market. Now, you've probably already seen some of the drama in the charts we were marking up. I mean, all of those big candles going, back and forth both ways and all those big spikes. Those are all market maker behaviors. So today I'm going to show you a couple of little breadcrumbs that show you where they've been so you can kind of see where they might go. Here we are back inside of our week, and let's start at this first. Actually, let's go just before this and let's start on a Monday. Okay? All right. If we are looking here just on a Monday, and I know it can get a little confusing with all of these squares all over the place, so let's also clean this up. So go into the sessions indicator and hit this little gear button, and we are going to take off New York, and we're going to take off London and take off Sydney. Okay, so then all we're left with is Tokyo. And let's make Tokyo blue. Okay, Tokyo's blue. Let's make London green, and let's make New York red. Okay, and just hit OK. All right, so right now, all we have is Tokyo, okay? I'm going to give you a little hint. Remember how when we had you look at the week, and there was a high of the week and a low of the week, and it pretty much held for a little bit, and then when it left for good, okay? And then it went to the other end, and then it held, okay? The same thing happens every single day on a daily basis. So I'm going to look just in between here this Monday and this Tuesday. And right away, I can see that Tokyo was the low. And Tokyo often acts as a support and resistance for the rest of the week. So let me show you this trick. Let's go back into the sessions and hit the settings, and where it says, okay, cool. Okay, where it says max minimum, click that, and it should draw these lines out from the maximum and the minimum of Tokyo. Okay? And now if you look, you will see that it hit this bottom, retested this bottom, and then took off. All right? It also even stopped here at the top, retested it both ways, and kept going. This is a super, super clean trade setup. Absolutely perfect, coming straight out of a Monday. Beautiful, beautiful setup. Okay, this one would have been a really easy one to take inside the tribe. Okay, now let's go over to our Tuesday. Now, Tuesday's when we hit the high. We didn't know this, of course, at the time, but I come in at the very end of Tokyo. Okay, I look right when Tokyo closes, and I see this line going out. And so for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, it sits here and just plays with this high. Of course, that's got to be the high of the day, okay? So you can take, this is London session, this is when I trade, you would trade this South London session. Now it did, remember, it acts as support and resistance. So for that day, it did stay inside this range all day, okay? And there are ways to tell if it's going to keep going or if it's going to stop. We're not going to get into that. This week is, just the basics. But there are ways to tell how much momentum a trade has and when it's looking to stop. Okay, let's go to the next day. Let's put this circle back at the high where it belongs. All right, so the next day we come in and price does break Tokyo, but then it keeps playing with it. It keeps saying, haha, I'm going to close up here, and then closing back down. I'm going to close up here and then close back down. And so what they're doing is there are people that know that this Tokyo high, this Asia high and low, acts as support and resistance. So they keep putting orders in knowing that this thing is going to go up. And also because we have this level. And so the market makers are going to play around with this level because everyone is watching this level and everyone has their own opinion of whether they need to go short or long on it. So as soon as we figure out that this is the low, and what's one way we can tell this is a low is you get this huge monster, big candle down and then hits the brakes and goes right back up. You see this wick? It traveled this whole way. Here, let me move to my pointer. It traveled this whole way in an hour. So it went down for hours and then all of a sudden hit the brakes, went all the way back up and then came back down and then came up. So this we know is the bottom of where the market makers can go. See, they can't just move as far as they want. They do have limits every single day. And we don't know those limits. We don't know their targets. We don't know how much money they have to work with. You can see if kind of what the dealers are holding based on what they've done already. Again, that's a little more for advanced topics, but you can see just with this, if they run towards a support level and then hit the brakes like this, that's as far as they can go. Take it the other way, you're safe too. And then again, they have the high. So this was their high. So they can't break this high. Look, it hit it here, it hit it here, it hit it here. So if we come back in then on a Thursday and we've already got this line marked off because it's already hit it 3 times, 3 days in a row. And then on the 4th day, it hits it again with pins again at the high, pins at the high during Tokyo. Okay. Right there, it's telling me I can take this one short again. All right. And it's going to act as support and resistance here. So obviously the high of Tokyo is going to act as resistance. And then I'm sure that this came down and bounced before it actually broke through. And when it came down, of course, it went right back up. So they do like to play around at these levels. So this one, you probably just had to take your legs. This is a stop hunt. If you got stopped out, that's the point. But we learn how to protect our capital and how to use tight risk. And there's even a way to enter if you follow along. I'm sure it'll be in a blog post here soon about how to enter to protect in case you're wrong. Teach you how to lose at a discount. What I want you to do is take a piece of paper and hold it up against your chart so you can't see the future candles. And just look at the Tokyo of every day. What happens? Can you notice when they hit that high? When London opens, know that typically either a high or a low has been set, or the next high or low is going to be the move. Okay. Again, tomorrow you'll learn a little more into that as we go into the pattern. Tomorrow is the last day. Oh my gosh. So for right now, what I want you to do is go through and grab that piece of paper and just see if you can see where the market makers are going to move. So just know that dealers can only move so much. They cannot just throw the markets out of whack. So what you can do is just measure how far did they move on a Wednesday. What was the high and low? Looks like 60 pips. What about Thursday? High and low, 69, almost 70 pips. Tuesday, high and low, what have we got? Oh, only 47 pips. What about that beautiful one on Monday? High and low, just for Monday, was 84 pips. Okay, and then Friday, hardly moved at all, 15 pips. Okay, so if you average that over the course of the week, you're gonna get about 50 to 60 pips. So when you make your trades, don't expect them to go 300 pips, okay? You want to aim for no more than 50. As beginners, if you could get 30 pips every single day, you're going to be looking awesome, especially if you apply just the basic tools that we talked about here, okay? That's it for today, and we'll see you in the next video.